Today, I'm going to talk about how to drive in heavy downtown traffic, particularly the NFL in Detroit. Welcome. Let's go ahead and talk about it. There are many things you're going to have to do when you learn to drive. One is driving to a downtown area, downtown Detroit, downtown Houston, Texas, downtown LA in California. There's so many things you're going to be so overwhelmed about. And you're going to have to take that plunge and leave your safe area. Today, I'm going to take you through the things you must do to be safe when you drive down there. Number one, plan your route. Where are you going? Learn how to read GPS. Learn how to read a map. Make sure your phone is charged. Bring your charger. You don't want to rely on anyone or anything leaving from your house in the suburban area to travel to downtown Detroit. Leaving your house in Prairie View, Texas to travel to Houston. Leaving your house in Sacramento, California to go down to downtown Los Angeles. There are so many things that could happen. You could get lost. You could have a flat tire. You might have a huge traffic delay. And believe me, I've been through that when I was in Houston, Texas. We were stopped for more than half an hour. I've been there going to downtown Detroit. You get stopped and you're sitting there for a half an hour. You have to make sure you have gas in your car. You got to make sure you top it off and you have cash in your pocket. You can't rely on a debit or credit card because sometimes they don't work. So plan your route. Use your GPS to plan your route before hitting the road. Print it out on paper. Have it out on your phone. Send it to one of your friends' phones just in case your phone gets lost. It's very scary, and I've been lost. I've been lost in Wisconsin. I was lost in Chicago. Baby, I ended up in West Virginia. Do you hear me? I ended up in West Virginia, and I was terrified. And I had a blowout. So I had to fix that flat tire. Luckily, we had a spare, and then I continued on. Check Google Maps for the best route before leaving because Google is always updated. Many times when I have clients drive, I say use your phone because little do you believe it, a lot of young drivers don't know how to drive home. I know you're like, are you serious? Yes, they do not know how to drive home. So you got to continue putting in that work and doing your best work. Pay close attention to your surroundings. Are you passing a bunch of houses? Are you passing industrial areas? Are you passing stadiums? Because you might have taken a wrong turn and your maps may not have updated or your phone may overheat and then you have to stop. You need to watch for pedestrians. We're talking about driving in downtown Detroit. We're not talking about driving in downtown Chicago. We're not talking about driving in downtown Houston. We're not talking about driving in the UK. We're talking about driving in the Motor City, baby. And that's where I'm from. And I take pride in that. You're going to be upwards of over 300,000 people walking. Pedestrians, they're going to walk right in front of you. Lights, they don't look at lights, they're going to walk. And then you have to make sure that you're not running over someone. You want to avoid accidents. You're going to have people riding their bikes and other vehicles such as scooters. For instance, you have to constantly scan left, middle, right. If you're not constantly scanning, you're going to end up running over someone or you're going to be stuck in the middle of the intersection. And there are hundreds of thousands of people walking to one of the NFL draft entrances, and there are only 3. So you got to have this thing planned out. And I saw a sign this morning, $100 for a parking spot. Are you kidding me, bro? I'm going to park at the casino and then walk down there or take a ride share. So you got to have plans. Next, let's talk about obeying traffic signals. I know you get tired of me saying this, but guess what? People still run lights. And if you hit someone in the crowd, you're going to have a crowd flip your car. And this is why a lot of young people don't go to downtown Detroit. They don't go to downtown Chicago. They don't go to Houston, Texas, because they are scared to get out of their comfort zone. True learning comes from driving in a huge metropolitan area. You've got to understand, and if it wasn't for the city, we wouldn't have suburban areas. You got to watch out for pedestrians. Be cautious. There are thousands of people. Your mom and dad might be down at the draft right now. We know Caleb is going to go number 1 to Chicago, right? They're going to be those multi-million dollar millionaires, soon to be millionaires. They're going to be people who want to take advantage of them. Men who want to take advantage and try to take their money, women who want to take advantage. This is why they have the big bodyguards coming in and protecting them. Stay back. It's a very spectacular event, and it's going to bring a lot of economic impact to the city. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. If you can, you need to go down there and see it. Obey those signals. A red light means you stop and you wait. And just because you have a green, guess what? You're going to have 10, 20, 100 people walking in front of you. So you have to be a little extra cautious and a little extra careful. Slow down on yield signs. People are looking at the light. They're looking at the light. I'm pretending I'm looking at the light. And as soon as that light turns, I'm shooting the gap. So if you're not careful and you're driving like you're driving in suburban areas, trying to be cool with one hand, you're going to kill someone. Trust me, I've seen students change their whole focus because they're in a downtown area. They start squeezing that wheel, their eyes start getting big, and they get real quiet. That's what happens when you see over 100,000 people walking. If you've ever been to a concert, an Eminem concert, an Ariana Grande concert. Many of you have never been. You need to experience that volume of people. And the people will do what they want. They're going to walk in front of your car, behind your car, over your car. You might as well pack your patience and calm down. Next, use your signal. You'll see some pedestrians stop and they'll look. You'll see other pedestrians look and ignore it. You have to have common sense. Just because you have your turn signal on doesn't mean people are going to stop. And people don't care, just like many of you don't care. So have common sense. Use that signal early, signal often, so those pedestrians know what you're doing, and you are looking for a gap. A gap is a space between you and pedestrians. And if it's clear, you gently push the gas and you look. You might see a kid run out, a vendor run out, someone selling t-shirts, someone selling merch, because it's an epic event. Use that signal 100 feet before. Be patient. A lot of beginning drivers are not patient. That 18 to 36, I'm talking to all of you. You're not patient. You want to get your L's right now. You want to get that job right now. You want to get that post right now. But if you're not patient, you won't make it to downtown Detroit. If you're not patient, you won't get to your permit. If you're not patient, you won't pass your road test. If you're not patient and listen to me, you won't be driving until you're 37. So you have to be patient and listen to what I'm saying. Keep a safe distance, maintain safe following distance. When you're in your downtown area, you're going to be following cars. You're going to be following buses because you don't know what you're doing. And you're going to see the Renaissance Center. You're going to see Hart Plaza. I've seen that on the internet before. You're down there in the mecca of the Motor City. And for many of you watching, you're like, wow, you've never been to downtown Detroit. You've never seen that Z28 Camaro. You've never seen that IROC Z, that Mustang Boss. And it's something to be proud of because going to the Motor City means something. And if you haven't been there, you need to see it. Don't be scared. They won't eat you. Stay in your lane. Avoid sudden lane changes because people are looking at cars. They're going to shoot between a car, a scooter, a motorcycle, 5 or 6 groups of women holding hands in those miniskirts, 4 or 5 guys who are NFL prospects going. So you really got to be careful and kind of take a deep breath and calm your nerves. Use your mirrors frequently. You got to check that center mirror, that side mirror to the left on driver's side, that passenger mirror. Believe it or not, based on the Driver's Education Association, beginning drivers don't know how to adjust a mirror. You need to listen to what I'm saying because I'm a state certified instructor and I'm going to give you best practice. If all of you were here with me right now, we would go to the downtown draft. We would experience those thousands of people on the outside edges, on the fringe edge. Stay in your lane, avoid sudden lane changes. For instance, check your blind spots because cars will cut in, buses will come in. You'll see 5 or 6 cars fighting for one parallel park spot. Then you wish you would have listened to me and said, I wish I would have listened to him. I don't know how to parallel park. And then you're going to have people honking their horns. They're going to be honking their horns because one car is halfway in the parking spot and you're halfway in. I guess it's going to be a fight to get a parking spot. Parking is anywhere from $50, $75 to $100. It's called the principles of economics. It's very expensive to park in any downtown metro area. Why do you act surprised? I was in California several years ago when Mr. Beast was there. The prices were increased. Use your mirrors frequently and check. Watch for bicyclists. In downtown areas, you're going to have people riding their bikes. That's the next method and mode of transportation. Beginning drivers do a lot of traffic light driving. And when you're in a downtown area, you're going to do block to block driving because you're going to be so overwhelmed with people walking in front of the car, people walking beside the car, people walking behind the car. You're going to zone out. You're going to have a blank look on your face. That's the look a lot of you will have. And I'm saying, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. You're not okay because you're getting overstimulated. And a lot of instructors don't talk about this because I have the experience. Attention deficit disorder. We've got to really stay focused on the goal. The goal is not hitting anyone, not having an accident. Driving in heavy downtown areas will teach you better defensive driving fundamentals than driving in your safe suburban areas. There's still dangers. There are people walking across the street. In downtown Detroit, downtown Chicago, downtown Houston, Texas, people will look at you and still walk out in front of you. So you have to be aware of the driving situations. Stay calm in traffic jams. You're going to get very angry. You're going to be late for the NFL experience. You are 1 mile away and everything is locked. It's called gridlock. Based on third-party testers, gridlock is a very common feature that triggers road rage. And I'm trying to tell you, be patient. You're like, yeah, be quiet. But then when I see you get mad and angry, you're going to start listening to me. So stay calm in traffic situations. Traffic jams are common in downtown areas. I don't want to go to the NFL draft. Big Sean's going to be there. Eminem's going to be there. T Grizzly's going to be there. Oh, I don't want to see those guys. You don't want to see a Grammy award-winning artist? This is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I'm trying to give you real information. And those of you who are listening, you're like, wow, bro, I'm really listening to you. Keep preaching. You're going to have these big artists there. And they're putting on for the city because the city made them. So we want to be humble and appreciative. And if I have to sit in a traffic jam for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I'm going to put my car in park. I'm going to turn on my air conditioning, let down my window, put on some chill music, and just wait. As long as my car's not overheated. And I've been in high-performance cars that have big motors, high compression, and you're looking at that temperature gauge. 180, 188, 190, 195, and then the whole traffic moves one car, and then your temperature drops down. Or if you had a manual, because I have people from the UK here, I have people from Germany here. I've been in that manual, and your leg is aching because you have to keep pushing in the clutch because it's stop and go, and it's stop and go. A lot of you would never drive a manual because you don't know how. We do teach that, but it's very few and it's very often. So you want to avoid sudden stops. You will get rear-ended. People are tired just like you. They got to go use the bathroom. They got to go get food. They're trying to get to the NFL. Man, can you just drop me off? That's what people will say. You go find a parking spot 12 blocks away, 14 blocks away. Do you think I'm going to park my Z01 on the side of the road in the alley? My car won't be there. I'm going to have to pay $80, $100. I'm looking for an approved parking spot that is recognized by the state. There are a lot of phony parking spots and people are collecting money, and guess what? Your car won't be there. Parking is a very big business in metro areas. Many of you don't even know this because you don't go out of your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone and drive. Avoid sudden stops. Be mindful of bus stops. The city buses are still running, but they're going to detour them out of Jefferson. There are only 3 gates into the NFL experience. You can do your research, look it up. Use your horn sparingly. If you're going to keep tapping your horn, people are going to punch your car. They're going to ignore it. Just want to tap it So people see you. Maybe you're trying to pull out and people are coming behind you and they're like, oh, I'm sorry. Or other people like, I wish you would hit me. And you're going to see all types of people. Remember, there's always someone tougher than you. I'll pause for a second. Use your horn sparingly. Reverse horn for situations that require immediate attention. A little kid's coming out. Older ladies coming out. Okay? It's used for warning for dangers only. So don't lay on that horn. Stay out of the bus lane. You'd be tempted, man, I can pass 50 cars. You're riding in the bus lane and no one's going to let you in because you're driving illegally. Then the people will say, yeah, it was that car that almost hit me, and then you're going to get pulled over. We have the FBI. We have the federal government. Why? This is across the Detroit River from Windsor. You think you can come in and be slick down there? There are cameras everywhere, and they're going to get your license plate. They have AI right now. Practice defensive driving. You have to truly be aware of situations that unexpectedly come up. Your car might overheat. Turn on your heater. Why? The car's overheating. There's a heater core. When you turn on your heater, it's going to blow cold air on the heater core and it's going to drop that temperature down. Trust me. Back in my Z28 Camaro, 6-speed, had a built motor. As soon as I start going in traffic, 180, 185, 190, 195. I'm saying, oh my God, my motor's overheating. And I hear that electric fan kick on, and the temperature drops down 10 degrees. And then it turns off again. Many of you won't experience this because you're not going to be leaving your area. You need to gradually go out of your area. You need to continue to learn how to drive. And if all of you were with me now, let's head to downtown Detroit to the NFL draft experience. Let's learn how to go into that urban fringe, see where traffic is, learn how to park when there's extreme pressure. Got to be able to parallel park in 10 seconds or less. You can't, what if I'm stuck in the middle of the light? It's called gridlock. Try to avoid getting stuck in the middle of the light. That's one thing I see for beginning drivers. I never set them up for failure. I'm going to tell you, hey, I want you to put the light's green. The light's getting ready to change. There's your truck getting ready to block the intersection. You need to learn to listen. Next, continue and learn to yield. In heavy downtown traffic, particularly at the NFL draft, there are going to be hundreds and thousands of people there. Calm down. Make sure you have a full tank of gas. Make sure your car won't overheat. A lot of beginners are very zero on maintenance. Checking the antifreeze, checking the coolant, belts and hoses. Your car will always let you down in heavy, heavy traffic, or going in mountainous areas, or going on a long, hot drive at night where your car overheats and then the temperature does not drop. And if you don't, you're welcome. And if you don't pull over to the side, you're going to blow up your engine. Now you're 5 states away. You only got $800. You're going to have your car towed for $500. No, I'm not going to tow my car back. I've seen people take off the license plate, abandon their car, and then you're going to take a bus back. You always need to have money to take the bus back home. Have extra money in your phone case. Have some cash. Have your credit card, debit card in one pocket. I'm going to show you what I have, right? You got to have extra money. This is where I have my credit, debit card, license plate. Quick and easy, right? It's in one pocket. I have my cash in the other. Have cash in your sock because people will try to pickpocket you. Have pants that can zip up. You got to protect yourself. You got to enjoy it. Next, have following distance and learn to roll up on traffic early. So in case something goes down, what does this mean? People walking out, maybe a collision. People will have heart attacks there. It's a very exciting event. People will overexert themselves. And water's going to be $7. Hamburgers are going to be $10. So how are you doing? We're talking about downtown traffic, driving in downtown traffic for the NFL draft. There are going to be upwards of 300,000 people there. So what do I need you to do? I need you to be prepared. I need you to make sure you have a full tank of gas. I'm good. Well, I'm going to try to get there. I'm 4 hours away. I'm going to try to get there to the draft. and enjoy some of the nuances of the NFL draft. The fan experience is really important. And you just need that NFL pass to get in, right? Stay prepared, baby. Be prepared. Make sure your spare has air in it, has some extra money. I want to say thank you. I love you and appreciate you. And I'll be on tonight about 7:30. Bye.